How's it going, everyone? No doubt you've heard of the disastrous effects of Hurricane Helene on the Appalachia areas of Georgia, western North Carolina, and eastern Tennessee. Throughout the month after Hurricane Helene, my church partnered with Samaritan's Purse to go into western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee to aid the relief and rebuilding efforts. These are pictures and videos of the damage still remaining about a month after Hurricane Helene went through. Sorry if the photos and the videos aren't of incredible quality. I felt it inappropriate to take my GoPro to get footage because that's not why I went. I went to help people, and we just took what videos and pictures we could on the way up and then on the way back so that we could show friends and family the devastation and try to raise awareness about what had happened to western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee. On our way up there, we were driving on a road that had recently been opened. It was one of the roads between North Carolina and Tennessee that had been washed out and partially destroyed. And as we were going, we could see the teams and construction crews rebuilding the earth around it so that they could rebuild the road, and the road just dropped down into this ravine caused by the floodwaters. There's still large areas of trees down from either rock slides or mudslides. Entire sections of trees with their tops sheared off, likely due to wind. Piles of trash and debris were still next to homes and businesses by the road from relief and rebuilding efforts. Cars and trucks were randomly strewn about and overturned alongside homes and in fields. It reminded me of a scene from a tornado movie where debris, rocks, wood, cars, trucks, pieces of building are just randomly thrown about and scattered, except that in the movies and in real life, there wasn't an end to it. It just kept going and going and going. Whereas a tornado will touch down and be on the ground for minutes, the raging river that just destroyed everything in its path, cut through the very ground itself and caused roads to collapse, was there for days upon days. The devastation was terrifying. There were houses washed away, destroyed. There was even one spot where there was a sign for a church, but no church. It was completely gone. There were many bridges that were just not there anymore, turned to rubble and destroyed. And the bridges that were left had incredibly large debris piles, cars, wood, metal, everything that the river had taken just piled up next to it. And the power of this river was so strong that there was a car or truck that was in one of these debris piles, and it had been stripped down completely to only the chassis. To help with the relief efforts, we went up to Boone, North Carolina, where we met up with Samaritan's Purse and then split up from there. We went out to Mountain City, Tennessee to help the relief efforts there. For privacy purposes, I didn't take any pictures or video of the lady and her family that we were trying to help, or of their house, or of the surrounding houses there. In this area, essentially what's happening is Samaritan's Purse is going house to house and helping people. We got there around 9 a.m. and we left around 5 p.m. And that entire time we were helping them get their house ready to be rebuilt, re-insulated. They had went through and done some preliminary cleaning and throwing away of items. But as you can imagine, there was still a lot to be done. The floodwaters had went up around, if not over, 3 feet in their home. So some of us were cleaning up inside the home, throwing away belongings that were ruined, and then outside the home we were cleaning up all the debris and using rakes and shovels to get all of the dirt and sand and silt that had been washed up against their house, away from the house, so that they didn't have future problems with runoff and rain collecting. And also eventually we had to get under the house to see how bad it was there, and also to drill holes in the ductwork of their home so that water could drain, so that there wouldn't be standing water in the ducts underneath their house and create mold, which can create health issues. Luckily, there were some guys that came down from Canada who had a backhoe that came over and helped, because we had to pull up a fence, and we had to pull up a wire fence and posts for that fence that had concrete around the bottoms of them, as well as trying to get debris out of a line of bushes and small trees. So they were a huge help. This woman and her son, they were there. They appreciated the help, and we were happy to give it. And it just speaks to the character of the people in that area. I didn't see anything but joy from them and hard work, because they were just ready to get their lives back in order, to restore their home, and keep trying to live their lives. Her son was equally an inspiration and heartbreaking. I mean, he was 7 or 8, and for whatever reason, I don't know, me and him just clicked right off the bat. He was putting in hard work. You know how it is when you're a kid, pushing wheelbarrows that are too big for you. So I'd help him steady the wheelbarrow, and because we had to move a brush pile from one area to another, so that we could safely burn it, and we're just stacking up all the burnable materials over there so that they could be burned to be disposed of. But it seemed like whenever I got a break to get some water, her son would want to throw a football with me. And at the end of the day, while we were waiting for our ride to come and pick us up, me and him were playing this game where we just hide a pencil in the dirt outside their house, in the sand and silt that had been washed there by the river. And one of us would close our eyes, the other one would hide it just in the area right around where we were sitting, and then the other one would try to find it. We'd tell each other if we're hot or cold, and until we eventually found it, giving each other clues and hints. And he worked hard. He worked his butt off to help. He wanted to push wheelbarrows, stack up the burnable things, drag trash up their driveway to the main road, cut drywall, pull out nails and screws from the drywall and from the flooring. I mean, he was a hard worker, as was his mom. Yeah, it was very humbling and heartbreaking, because when we were playing that game with the pencil, it's because he didn't have anything left. Like, a pencil and a football was pretty much his only possessions left. Everything else in his room and his sister's room was ruined, destroyed, and contaminated, because all the water that went through the area upstream, you know, there were sanitation plants that had obviously overflowed from the river and stuff. So everything was contaminated. Anything that they had left, they had to really be careful with and really wash and sanitize from everything that had flowed downstream. But, I mean, this 7-year-old boy just rolled his sleeves up and wanted to get to work and wanted to help. And he wasn't mad, he wasn't sad, he wasn't mopey. When like everything, literally everything, had been destroyed. So I'm so glad, and I feel so blessed that we were able to go up and bless them with our hard work to get their home ready to be refinished, re-insulated, and be livable again. And there are so many stories like this coming from this disaster that it's truly an inspiration. And there's still so much to be done. If you're looking for places to give to churches, give to places like Samaritan's Purse, give to organizations where you know that the equipment and the money will actually go there. I'm not trying to bash FEMA, but we've all heard the stories. While we were up there and helping out, the only thing that we had heard about FEMA was them confiscating a truckload of equipment that was supposed to go to the relief efforts. Don't know why. That's not the purpose of this video. But the churches and the organizations like Samaritan's Purse, they are there to help. Everything that they're getting, they're giving to these people. And we know that colder temperatures are already here. Colder temperatures are coming. So if you're looking to give, go through your clothes, go through your kids' clothes, donate them, because they can sure use it up there. But while we're cleaning up, we pulled out some fishing rods, and of course those caught my eye. And I went and took them to the pile of items that were salvageable and just needed to be cleaned. And then me and her son started talking, and he likes to catch trout. And so we talked some about fishing, asked him what he liked to use for lures and for bait, and told him that I liked fishing for bass and that I'd been up in that area many times fishing the rivers for smallmouth. So I gave my contact information to his mom, and they have some mountain lakes up in that area and the surrounding areas. And I hope to go up there and take them fishing, because as you all know, I'm an avid fisherman and a fishing guide. So I really want to do that for them and, just check in on them. And as y'all know from watching my videos, I've got fishing shirts and short sleeve shirts and stuff like that I sell. So proceeds from all of my sales are going to go to the relief efforts as well, because it's not just this lady and her kids that are hurting and having to rebuild. It's so many people, from people in towns like this to personal friends that we've made at some of the campgrounds that we go camping and fishing at, who have just been devastated, where their business and their homes have been destroyed because the water rose so much and so quickly and was so powerful that it destroyed their homes and destroyed their businesses. So I'm looking to help them and just give them what I can. And hopefully after these campgrounds rebuild, I'm definitely going to give some shout outs to these campgrounds so that hopefully they can get a lot of business, because these are great people and they're fantastic places to fish, so that hopefully they can get some income into their businesses, pick their businesses up, and help rebuild their lives. Once again, all these stories of all these people in this area affected by the hurricane has been terrifying but also inspiring. All these people who have lost everything but have that drive to rebuild, and also the people who have reached out to help them is really inspiring. You know, it's something that I tell my kids all the time whenever they're mad or sad about something and it's just eating them up inside, is that bad stuff's going to happen to you in life. That's a fact. But whenever that bad stuff happens to you, you decide how to deal with it. You can't decide what bad stuff happens to you or when it happens to you or what it affects. But you do get to decide how you deal with it and your attitude going into it and going through it. And you deciding if you just complain about it and fuss about it and let it eat you up, or if you do something about it and fix it. Y'all take care. Tight lines. We'll catch you later.